What's up, guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Cello the Fashion Fairy. If you're stopping by for the first time, hello, please subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you for coming back. So if you want to learn how I achieve this, definitely keep watching. See you in my tutorial.
Single day, I'm gonna make something great.
Hey soul fairies, and welcome to class. So for this tutorial, this is the sleeve that we're working with. One is the lining and the other one is the actual piece. So this one that I just flipped now is the actual fabric, and this on top is our sleeve. So if you don't already know how to draft a basic sleeve, kindly refer to the video that I have in my channel. I'll also be putting the link in the description box so that you can make this easy before you come back to this tutorial. So for the lining piece, I'm going to be cutting off ½ inch. So my lining piece is going to be ½ inch shorter than my actual fabric. So you want to do this so that it doesn't keep popping up on the other side of your fabric. So but if you want to skip this step, it's totally up to you. You can just finish up by having a stitch on top so that it conceals everything. But this is me making sure I line everything perfectly, and then I saw some excesses on my lining, so I needed to at this point make sure that I cut everything off. So the next step is to move over to your sewing machine and use a stitch to hold both ends together like so. So you're expected to draw the lining to match the fabric, and then take this to your sewing machine and stitch everything together. But before I move to my sewing machine, let me just show you what I mean. I'm just using pins to safely secure this, so I will show you what I mean before I do the other ones off camera. So if you do this right, this is what you'll be having. And at this point, you can choose to top stitch, but I'm going to totally skip this step. This is optional, or you can use a hemming web to hold this together. But after you're done with this, the next step is to fold your sleeve like so. And then using the seam allowance that you left for the sleeve, you're going to be sewing on that seam allowance all the way to the other side of this. So once you're done with this, this is how it's going to look like. And then you're going to be using your iron to open up your seam lines, even for the lining piece as well. And then you're going to properly iron this. Then you're going to be putting your hand into this. Of course, cut out any thread, loose thread that is hanging. And then this is how you're going to turn this inside out, and then you will fold it inside out as well. Just follow the video, guys, you'll get what I mean. Then at this point, you want to also match the lines like so, and then you have to use your iron to make sure you iron this properly so that the lining piece will be flat as possible. So as I said earlier, you want to top stitch at this point if you so desire. But as for me, I don't want to do this, because once I dragged it up, it was okay. The lining piece was not coming out. So, but if you feel this may pose as a problem, you can decide to do a top stitch to hold this together. So this is me going in with my pins just to make sure that everything looks good. So at this point, I'm pinning all the way around the sleeve, and then I'm going to go in with my iron to iron it properly. Doing this enables me to find out if the lining piece stays inside, or I still have to trim out some excess at this point. So as I'm dragging, I'm pinning it, and whatever excess I may have at this point, I'm going to trim that off. So guys, I'd like to apologize for the quality of this video. Apparently I know my lens was cracked, but I didn't know it was going to affect this video like this. There's a certain angle you outplace it and it becomes like this. So I apologize for this, and I'm going to produce better quality next time. Thank you. Mwah. So now that I've trimmed off every excess possible, I'm going to take this to my ironing board, and I'm going to do justice to this sleeve, and then you'll see what it looks like. So of all the days in the world, my steam iron refused to work. Yeah, it did. Although it finally did work, but at this stage it just refused to work, so I had to work with it. So I'm going to be folding the lining piece by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to be folding that and using my pins to secure this nicely. So actually the fold isn't supposed to be this way. You're supposed to be folding it the other way. So instead of the fold facing you, the fold is supposed to be under it, because I had to redo all these things at the end of the day because I realized I did it wrong. So do better, guys. Do it the other way. So the next thing to do is to bring out your working garment, your working dress, or whatever it is you're making, and then the armhole area. I'm going to be showing you what to do. So at this point, you're going to be making the armhole into one piece. So I ran a stitch on that line I'm showing you right there. So it's now a single piece. So you want to put in your sleeve like so, and then holding just the main fabric, we're going to be pinning this all round. Remember, the actual jacket that I'm working with, it could be a dress, it doesn't matter. I've already made it into one piece, so I'm pinning the main fabric to that main piece, and I'm going to do this all round. So watch the video, guys, follow step by step. So if you've been long on my channel, you know I am somebody that likes working with pins. This saves me a whole lot of stress, and it gives you room to ease your anything that you're doing into it. So if you have any excess at this point, just like I did, go in with your scissors and make sure you trim all this out. You can also reduce the sewing allowance you left for your armhole as well if you want it like so. It doesn't matter, but I just decided to trim off all the excesses that I had at this point. I'll take this quickly to my machine and stitch this all around. I already did that, and this is what I have. So for the next step, we're going to be needing needle and thread, and of course I already made a knot at the end of my thread. So I'll be going in and I'll show you what to do. So you can see that this is the way it's supposed to be, and then I'll be folding it on top of the sewing allowance. So I'll be matching my under seam first. So this is what I'll be doing. The seam lines will be matching each other, and of course I'm going in with my pins to make sure I secure this nicely. So I'm pinning just over the sewing allowance, the stitch that I made earlier when I attached the armhole together. So I'm just going to use this to cover all my seam lines. So you want to do this carefully. You want to make sure that everything sits well before we move on to the next stage. Yeah, so I'm done pinning it, guys, and this is how it looks. And then I always like to stick my hand in to make sure it goes through, because sometimes it twists inside and you don't want this. So the next stage, this is my needle and thread, and I'm just going to show you quickly how to do this. So I zoomed this as much as I could so you can see this properly. So you want to first of all stick in your needle into your the armhole of your dress, your garment, or your working piece, and then you want to hide this knot inside, like I'm doing, so like so. So this is what you want to do. You want to hide it inside, and then we're going to be picking from the sleeve, the lining of the sleeve, and then we're going to just be sewing along. So the trick is, when you pick the lining piece, the lining of the sleeve first, then you pick your working piece next. So you have to alternate this. You pick the lower part and then you pick the upper part. So this is how you're going to be doing it. Don't drag it so much. You ease it in as you go along so that this doesn't pull. So this is what you will be doing. Pick the lower part and then you move over to the upper part and you pick that as well. And this is how you're going to be sewing all around the armhole. So let me just shut it and allow you watch this and understand the process. Drum rolls, and we are done. And this is absolutely amazing. This is what it looks like. You can see it's very neat, and this is how to do it, guys. Very simple, right? See you in my next tutorial. Bye.